Hello everybody. Today I am making a couple of Christmas decorations. I have this gorgeous trim from Crafty Me shop. I absolutely love it. And it's like a lame, rose gold coloured lame ribbon, and then it has a tiny little seed bead, a tiny little sequin, and then another round seed bead on the top. I don't know whether you can see, but I love this. And so I wanted to use this on something special. So I thought I would use it on some Christmas decorations. I have these foam egg shapes. Unfortunately, the little baubles I have are far too small. So I'm going to use the egg shape, and I'm all right with that. I have twisted a little bit of wire like that to make myself a little hanger. I don't have any of... I've got a glass bauble here. See how it's got the special hanger? I don't have any of those, so I'm going to make my own. And so I've just twisted that little bit of wire like that, and I've marked the top here. And what I want to do is squeeze that together and put it in there. And I may just put a little bit of glue, and I'm just using tacky glue. You can't really use the clear glues on your styrofoam because it just eats away at the styrofoam, but I find tacky glue is quite all right, so I'm just going to put a little bit on there, and hopefully that will help it just to stay in place once it's in there. I'm going to put one little side in, squeeze it. Or maybe we'll squeeze it together first. Squeeze it, push it in, and let it do its own thing inside the foam ball. There's not going to be a great deal of weight on this, so I'm not too concerned that that will pull out at all because it's going to be really light. What I've done is I kind of measured how long I need this. And I went ahead and just placed some glue behind so that when I cut it, it would be all right. Now I just need to find, because I think it was this side. Yes, it was this side. So if I put that like that there, I'll just make sure I've got the right side. Let's have a look. So about there, actually. It's all right. I've just measured that a little bit wrong. Okay, so I need to cut it about there. So what I'm going to do, just to help it a little bit, is, although I've let the other part dry a little bit, I'm just going to put a bit of fabric glue behind this and let it dry. Well, I'll let it dry a little bit. And that's already dry, and I can feel where that is. So I will cut that one there. Like that. And let's see if we can just get this started. I'll just press it on like that. And I'm going to cut that about there. Just put that over there. Okay. So taking that around, I've marked the center of the bottom just to try and keep things lined up. If I put that there like that, just hold it for a moment. Have a little look. And what I want to do is I've got these little pins. I found these at the op shop, which is a thrift store, and these are applique and sequin pins. I know I have some more of these as well. Hazel sent me some a long time ago, and they're wonderful for this sort of work. So what I'm going to do is just take one and put it in the bottom there, just to hold that in place, and then I will take another one and put it halfway along. I will be putting more of these on. I just want to hold it while I get the next bits on. Okay, so that looks about right, and they're not perfect measurements. I'm just doing this by eye. So I will put more pins in there. I just want to make sure my measurements for this are correct. Okay, so where's my little hanger? There it is, it's up there still. So that will go like that. So that needs cutting about here. And because I don't want to overlap this part at the bottom, because it can look a bit too bulky. So just trying to get that nice and even to there, I think. To there. Just get a couple of these and put them in to hold it in place. And one in the center. Like that, and then our last piece, but I'll need to get a few more of these out. Making sure I've got the part that's that's the glued part there, so that goes. It doesn't quite look right, does it? There. About there. Okay, let's put a pin in here to hold that. And then I'm going to need put that there, and I'll just put a bit of tacky glue here, I think. I think I'm going to cut across there, like we might be a bit more generous this time. Okay, I've got a couple of little bits left for some other projects, so I'll put that there like that. Make sure we're looking fairly even. I think so. Pin it. Okay, so that is our sectioned off decoration. Now what I need to do is I've put 3 pins in each piece, but I want to go and put another one in between those other pins. So I'll go ahead and do that. And then I will come back. And that'll just secure it nicely so they don't move around. Alright, so that is done. And I am hanging it from the thicker end of the egg. And I'll just need a few more pins. What I'm doing now is going to put the sequins on. And I'll show you how I've organized this, because I have started one already. So what you do is you get your little pin. I have a little pearl in this particular case, but you can use seed beads, but these are from Crafty Me Shop, these pearls. And I have sequins from Crafty Me Shop, and I am just threading them all like that. So I have a pin, a pearl, and a sequin, and then I'm just putting them into my felt mat ahead of time, because it takes, it's a long project this way, because it's a long project, this one, and I just found it was easier to have these pre-done rather than do them all individually as I was sticking them in. This is an ideal project to do when you're listening to a video or a podcast of some type, or watching a movie, but you know, you don't need to be watching it every single scene, something you may have seen before so you know what's happening. Something to listen to, preferably. It's a lovely project for that. So I've just done these few extras just in case I need them. And I worked out each side needs about 58 of these. Give or take 1 or 2, I guess. So it does take quite a lot. So we'll leave it there. And then what I'm going to do is I have a little container here. I'm going to put a bit of tacky glue in there. Oops, there's a sequin in there. When you're using your sequins, sometimes the whole, oh, that's actually a good example. It's just slightly off center. That one's not too bad, but some sequins can be really crooked. Don't use those ones. Try and use the ones where the little hole is in the center as much as possible. In fact, some sequins don't even have holes in them. They've sort of skipped that whole part. Okay, so let me see how I'm going to do this to show you. I have done one section there, and I'm quite happy with that. It's not perfect by any means. You know, this is only the second time I've ever used this kind of method with sequins to cover something. So the first time was a little egg cup I made, and I actually used long straight pins, and I had to cut them, and my hand was so sore because I had no idea you could get these smaller pins. Okay, so I'm going to basically copy the layout I did for the first one and do it on the next one here. So let's just have a look. We'll start over here. Get one of my little pins. I'm going to just dab it into the glue, so you've got a little tiny bit of glue on the end of the pin, and just stick it in. And the more you do, the easier it becomes to gauge where to place them so that they're evenly spaced as best as possible. So, and you just keep going like that. And that's all there is to it. So I've gone 1 and then 2, and there might be a different method of doing this. But this is just how I'm doing mine. I don't know whether people actually sit there and count spaces and things like that. See, that one might just... So it goes like that, and then I found, then I had to curve it a little bit by the look of it. Because it's an, it's an arced shape, it's not a straight line. I found if you go either side first and then fill in the middle, it goes slight curve, not very much, but like that. Okay, and then I just do the same sort of thing all the way like that. And it does look very sparkly, and then I'll have to work out once I've finished. Hopefully I think I've got a nice copper ribbon that I was sent, so maybe I will use something like that. That would be nice. Okay, so you don't need to sit here and watch me do all that. I'll come back and show you when they're completed. Alright, so I just need to make a bow for the top of the decoration, and I have this lovely, it's probably a 1-inch satin. So I'm just going to use my bow maker that I spotted in the corner that I forget about all the time, and I'm going to make a simple bow because I find the bows that are made on here are much nicer than the bows I can make myself. And they're very easy to make. You just do a loop around like that. It's just a single bow. I'm using a bit of tulle to tie it off. And you just tie that. But before you tighten up the tulle, yeah, this is real simple, isn't it? Oh goodness, make sure that's the right way. Now I've lost there we go, so tighten it a little, not too tight. Try and get the little tulle bit in the center of your tails coming out, and just tighten like that. You can adjust it a little bit before you tighten. Do another one. I've pricked my fingers, so I'm trying to be careful. It's not bleeding anymore, but I just in case, I don't want to get it on the white satin. So once you've done that simple process, you can cut these pieces off, and then you can slide it off the top of the bow maker, and you end up with a really nice looking bow. Some people, they can make bows really easily. Mine don't turn out very nicely. Although that one is a bit twisted the wrong way. Oh my. There we go. That's a bit better. And what I want to do is try and make those a little bit even, nice and crisp, like that. Get our decoration, and all I've done is I've used my reel of, I've got this piece of tulle that everything likes to stick to. I found that at the op shop, which is a thrift store. It's just that nylon tulle. Comes in handy for so many things, and every year I usually use it to make a couple of decorations and hang them with it, because it gives a really nice effect. So that's what it looks like finished. I'm really happy with it. It's lovely to have a couple of new decorations every year. And so now I'm going to decide where I'm going to be putting it. and it will kind of hang on the tree like that. I could probably twist that just a little bit, and that way I can put this right there like that on the top, like that. I think that will look pretty. Yeah, like an Easter egg, I guess. You know, the old-fashioned Easter eggs where they used to have the bows on top. What I'm going to do is use some craft glue to adhere it. So I'm going to put a bit of, this is Helma Premium Craft Glue. Just put a bit of that just to secure it a little bit on top. And hold it in position. Make sure I've got no glue all over my fingers. Where was I going to put it? There, was it? There, on that side. So I'm just going to put that there, like that. But I'm also, I've got a long straight pin here. And I'm going to take another sequin and another little pearl, and I think I'll just use those, and that way I know for sure that the bow will stay in place. There we go, just the same sort of concept as all the little sequins, and find the center and just push that in like that, and that's not going to go anywhere, and that's the top of my decoration, and I'm quite pleased with that. It's going to be a lovely addition on my Christmas tree this year, and I'll give you a closer look, just a moment. Okay, so here we go. They are finished. I've made 2 of them. I calculated I needed about 220 of these little small sequin pearl pin pieces to complete one of them. So almost 450 for the 2. So you do use a lot of pins. The actual pins there were 825. So about half a box of these pins made 2 decorations. And they are quite a good size. You know, you can see my hand, so they're not very small ones. But it was lovely to be able to use up some of my sequins and pearls from Crafty Me Shop. And of course, let me show you this absolutely gorgeous trim from Crafty Me Shop. And it's lovely to have a special piece that I'll be able to bring out year after year after year and be able to admire that trim in a decoration rather than just use it on something that I may not see, you know, or come across very often. These will be in my collection along with other decorations that I've made each year, and I'll be able to get the, you know, the beauty of the whole thing. I love them. One thing to keep in mind though, because the sequins that I've used are a clear sequin, that worked to my advantage on using a foam ball because it's a white background. You may, if you're using a coloured sequin, you may have to be a little bit more careful with your placement because you'll see the background, like any little mistakes in arrangement that I may have made aren't noticeable because they're clear sequins on the white background. So just bear that in mind. I think that was a bit of luck on my side, so I'm quite happy with them. In fact, I love them. I really do love them. And I know they're going to look really, really pretty on the Christmas tree. At the moment, I've just got an hot light, like a white light above me. But if I just put that to the side and bring a softer light in, which is normally what you see at Christmas time, can you see how pretty that is. And that's the kind of effect they will have on the Christmas tree. So I'm really, really happy with those. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you give this a go. It is a long project, but they're going to last me years and years and years. So I'm quite happy to do that. And take care, everybody. Bye.